Hi everybody, welcome back. Fibromyalgia Real Talk. I'm Helen Thompson. So today I said we're going to be talking about inflammation because the reason I want to talk about inflammation is because a lot of us have autoimmune diseases and may have other inflammation happening in your body that you don't know about or know why it's happening. But I also want to keep separate that fibromyalgia is not caused by inflammation, and we are not an autoimmune disease. So it's not inflammation that's causing our problems. So when your doctors try to tell you or try to give you all these anti-inflammatories to help with your pain and help with your issues, it is not going to help because that is not our issue. It's not inflammation. But it's important for you to understand the process and how it works in the body so that you can recognize it when it's happening to you, because it can be easily corrected if you know that it's happening, and then you can hopefully have some of those symptoms ease up for you or go away. But if you have inflammation on top of fibromyalgia, it can also make your fibromyalgia symptoms worse. So if you correct the inflammation, then you'll ease up some of those symptoms that you're having, and it won't be so hard for you to control. Okay, that's why I'm saying this. So inflammation refers to your body's process of fighting against things that try to harm it. So when something damages your cells, your body releases chemicals that triggers your immune system. This process can happen in a matter of minutes, hours, days, and if it lasts any longer than that, then there's something wrong. There's something else going on. That's acute, immediate inflammation, like if you get a cut or if you stub your toe or get a cold or something. Chronic inflammation is different. It happens when that immune response is triggered and then it never gets treated or you don't do anything about it, and it just lingers for a long time. So your body's in a constant state of alert. Your immune system's like, hey, there's something going on. Hey, what's going on over here? Hey, and it's just not knowing what it should do or where it should go. And it makes a big impact on your tissues and the organs of your body. So some of the symptoms of the chronic inflammation is body pain, which we have also, insomnia, depression, fatigue, fever, mouth sores and rashes, abdominal pain, chest pain, anxiety, IBS, reflux problems. You can have problems with losing weight, so you can actually gain weight when you're in this inflammatory mode, and you can be getting frequent infections because if you're in the inflammatory mode, your body's immune system is constantly activated, and that could be what triggers your autoimmune diseases as well. And if you just get that inflammation under control, you can actually put those autoimmune diseases probably into remission by decreasing the inflammation that's causing that to constantly be attacking you. So what causes chronic inflammation? So untreated acute inflammation, like I said, like an infection or an injury, long-term exposure to chemicals at your work or just in your environment, the daily air that you breathe, or whatever. You can have an abscess in your body, you can have tissue injuries, you can have burns. Cancer causes this inflammation. Crohn's disease is a huge inflammation of the gut. Transplant organs, if you have a transplant and you go into rejection, that's inflammation. Surgical infections, bacteria, viruses, fungal infections, and osteomyelitis, which is inflammation of the bones. So factors that complicate your chronic inflammation or contribute to it to keep it activated longer and keep you from actually healing or getting rid of the problem. The big one you're going to hear me say a lot today is smoking. Okay, smoking is not good for your body. It affects a lot of areas of your body and affects a lot of illnesses. Obesity is another one. When your body is obese and you have fat not only in all of your tissues, but it's forming around your organs and on your organs, and it's squeezing them and it's causing them to not work properly. It causes a chronic inflammatory state in your body. Alcohol causes inflammation. So again, stop drinking. I mean, it's okay if you drink, like I have a glass of wine or maybe a bottle when I come home from a really hard day at work, but not every day and not drinking hard liquor and, that kind of a thing, because it's really bad for your body. And then being in a chronic stressful state. So stress can actually cause inflammation in your body. And this is why I say to so many people on all of those sites out there, decrease the stress in your life. If that means that you have to get rid of people that are stressing you out, you have to get toxic people out of your life, you have to start taking care of you and take over your life so you can get control of your illness. And then once you do that, if you think that you're ready and you can let some of these people back into your life again, great, that's your choice. But I personally have cut out all toxic people in my family, including family members, including 2 of my sisters, because the stress just keeps me jacked up. It just keeps my fibromyalgia constantly going into flares and whatever. And you need to realize your triggers. You need to realize your environmental triggers, your people triggers, whatever it is, and you need to try to minimize those things in your life or get rid of them completely if you can. It's the only way you're going to be able to take control of your illness. When inflammation is ongoing, it can start damaging healthy cells, healthy tissues, and organs. This can lead to actual DNA damage, tissue death, and internal scarring in your body that becomes permanent. It can lead to you getting cancer, heart disease, rheumatoid arthritis, which basically I think they said rheumatoid arthritis and diabetes because they're autoimmune diseases. So when you, it's damaging the DNA in your cells and your tissues and your organs. So if you have type 1 diabetes, your autoimmune is attacking your pancreas, you're not making any insulin at all, that's a huge problem. So that is also caused by inflammation. Again, obesity can lead to chronic inflammation, asthma, and it can lead to dementia as well. So how is inflammation determined by doctors? We have several blood tests out there that will show inflammation in the body, and we use them constantly in the hospital all the time, especially if somebody comes in and they're sick or they're showing infection. Their white blood cell counts are elevated and we don't know where the infection is. We start running these inflammation markers so we can, it's just a step in a process to help us narrow down what's going on in the body. So the ESR, which you guys have heard about, is the SED rate. It tests for inflammation, but it's not specific to anywhere in the body. It just shows that you have inflammation in the body somewhere. It can be a little bit higher in females, and it can be a little bit increased with aging. So you kind of have to, gauge it by that. The CRP is another test that they do. It's called the C-reactive protein. It measures a specific protein that's made by the liver. Usually less than 10 is considered normal. It can also be elevated from smoking, in obesity, and lack of exercise. But the CRP is also the marker that they use to find chronic inflammation, because when you have a chronic nerve disorder, your liver makes more of this protein. So it will be in your blood, it will be in your spinal fluid, things like that. So we do at times have elevated CRPs, but I can tell you right now, I had an elevated CRP for years and thought it was related to fibromyalgia. But now that I've gotten rid of all the inflammation in my body, my CRP levels are normal. They are completely gone. So this is why I'm saying you have to rid the inflammation in your body so that you can see what you're left with and then deal with that from there. So there could be other things causing you problems that you don't even realize. There's another test called plasma viscosity. It's a specific test for RA, rheumatoid arthritis. There's the CPK and the CK, which is a creatine kinase. It's specific to muscle inflammation, so it can be elevated if you've exercised that day. So I went into my doctor one time and they did labs, and I didn't realize that I was working out at the gym at the time, and I had worked out the day before. So when they ran my labs, my CKs were really high, and that can also be related to heart muscle. So then they were like, oh my gosh, are you feeling okay? Are you having any chest pain? Do we need to check this out? I'm like, no, I think it's just elevated because I worked out yesterday. And they're like, oh, okay, woo. So there are different reasons these things can be elevated. So you just have to, let your doctor help you sort it out. There's a test called the CCP, and I'm not going to tell you what it stands for because it's really hard for even me to say, but that again is for rheumatoid arthritis antibodies in the body. TPO is the thyroid peroxidase. It detects autoimmunity diseases of the thyroid, like Hashimoto's, which a lot of us mimic the symptoms of Hashimoto's, but don't actually have Hashimoto's. And this is why I'm giving you this information right now so that you can understand the difference between actually having the autoimmune or just having symptoms of the autoimmune. There's a test called the RA, which is the rheumatoid factor for, again, the autoimmune arthritis. There's an immunoglobulin IgA, and that is a protein that's made specifically by your immune system to fight specifically bacteria, viruses, and toxins. So if your IgA is elevated, then they can pretty much know that you have some kind of bacterial or virus infection, and they just have to figure out where it is. So you need to know the difference between inflammation and how to solve those issues, like I said, so that you can get down to the actual nitty-gritty of your illness and know exactly what your symptoms are. Because I really, really talk to so many people all the time, and they're telling me they have these symptoms, and yes, I used to have those symptoms, but I don't have problems with them anymore. So it's like, okay, well then there's something else going on that they need to be aware of in their body that's not fibromyalgia, because a lot of us, when we get the diagnosis, the doctors tell us it's a catch-all diagnosis. It doesn't really mean anything. It's just they can't figure out what's wrong with us, so they give us that diagnosis. And we just know that is so not true. There are other things going on that can make it worse, and so it's helpful if you know these things. So I can't fix it for you, but I can give you the tools to help you figure out what's going on and help you fix it for yourself. But you have to ultimately make the choice to want to be healthy and want to do these things for yourself, because nobody can do it for you. So just remember that. So here's a few examples of autoimmune inflammation diagnoses and the symptoms that they can cause. So RA, which is rheumatoid arthritis, causes joint swelling, which with fibromyalgia, we have joint pain like RA, but we do not have the joint swelling, and we do not have the disformation. It causes your joints and everything to become deformed, and a lot of people can't use their hands right anymore, and things like that. We don't have that part of RA, which is why if you don't have the autoimmune RA, you can still have the joint swelling, the pain and stiffness in the joints, the fatigue, you can have the numbness and tingling, and you can even have limited range of motion where it's hard for you to just kind of move your hand that day or do small things that require small motor nerves are hard to do, but you don't actually have the RA. So this is kind of the thinking that I'm trying to get you guys into. Another one is the IBS, or the irritable bowel issues. It causes abdominal pain, diarrhea or constipation, cramping, bloating, actually causes weight loss with some people. It can cause you to have anemia because it can cause bleeding ulcers and other kinds of bleeds in your GI system. And so we have IBS symptoms because our nerves go to these areas as well, and they control how these areas in our body work, but we don't actually have the autoimmune. MS is numbing and tingling of the arms, legs, and face, balance problems. They get double vision, blurry vision, fatigue, and brain fog are their symptoms. Okay, so we get all of those symptoms too, and like I said earlier, theirs can become permanent. Ours won't. They just kind of come and go as those nerves are being messed with. So, the good news, yay, good news. There's a lot that you can do right now to start decreasing inflammation in your own body, even if you're not sure where it is. If you start doing some of these things, you are going to see a big difference in your body and the way it functions and the way it responds to things you want it to do. So the top 3 things that you need to do right now, you need to exercise. Your body has to move. I know you hurt, I know you're stiff, I know you're sore, you have no motivation to even get up and go outside and go walking, but you have to do it. It's just something that your body is made to be moving. We are not made to be sitting and not be in motion. So as you sit on the couch and you watch TV and you're not doing any exercise or anything except, maybe just moving around your house, your organs are going to start shutting down because you're not using them. You're not, constantly flooding them with oxygen and the things that they need to function. And it's just going to make it even harder for you to try to get up and move and do things because now your organs aren't even functioning properly. So exercise is so, so, so important. No smoking or alcohol. Those things are just bad, bad, bad for you. And reduce the stress in your life. And I know I've said these 3 things already, but these are the 3 things you're going to hear me say a lot today because they are so, so important. There's foods that you can avoid that will decrease the inflammation in your body. Sugar is the big one. Refined carbohydrates, alcohol, processed meats, and trans fats are things that you can just cut out of your diet right now. Stop taking those things in and drink tons of water, and it's going to help flush out what's left in your system and hopefully start getting you back into better balance. Foods that you can eat right now that actually fight and decrease inflammation in your body. This is so exciting because I love eating fruits and vegetables, and if you don't, you need to learn to like it because this is what your body likes and this is what's going to make it function the best. So right now you can start eating berries and cherries. You can eat fatty fish. You can eat broccoli, avocados, drink green tea. Mushrooms and tomatoes are great for decreasing inflammation. And there's a few spices that you can add into your diet. Turmeric, ginger, and cloves. If you use those in your cooking, they're also great ways to decrease inflammation in your body. Now, the turmeric is a very strong antioxidant, and I actually use that as one of the supplements that I take twice a day, and it really helps kind of energize you, keep the inflammation levels down, and keep your cells functioning the way that they're supposed to be functioning. All right. Don't drink a lot of coffee, juices. Juices are really high in sugar. You don't even realize, even if it says it's made from concentrate, you still have to look at if they've put added sugars into it. So I just recommend that you just stay away from juices altogether. And soda. Really, really have to get rid of the soda in your life. They're very high in sugar. They have a lot of chemicals in them that are cancer causing, bad for your body. It just has nothing in it that's good for you. And the carbonation in the drinks that you drink actually dehydrates your body as well, which also can cause you to go into an inflammatory state. So what is my recommendation? Here we go, my water soapbox. You need to drink half of your body's weight in ounces of water every day, or more than that if you can. Unless you have heart failure. If you have congestive heart failure and you're on a fluid restriction, that is a totally different story. You don't want to overload your body with water because it's going to tax your heart. But if you don't have heart failure, you got to get on the water because you have to remember you need water to flush your body daily of all the toxins and harmful chemicals that you breathe in, that get in through your skin. They're just floating around in your body, just waiting to cause problems. Your body is made of 60% water. Think about that for a minute. I mean, 60% of your body, that's more than half of your body is made of water. So why you need water to function. Your cells need water to function all the way down to the very, very smallest, cell in your body. If you are not drinking water every day, you are dehydrating yourself and you are starving your cells constantly. That causes stress in your body and that causes more inflammation, and it just keeps making everything worse. So water is so, so important. And also you lose water every single day. You don't realize it. But if you're just sitting here, like I'm sitting here talking to you and I'm feeling a little bit clammy on my skin because the lights are making me hot, that's water loss. Okay, so you're peeing out water, you're pooping out water, you're losing it through your sweat, you're losing it through your spit, you're constantly getting rid of water. So you have to replace that water and drink a little bit of extra. It's why it's so important. Also, to lose weight, you need to drink water. Because water's going to keep, like I said, all that stuff flushed out of your system, so you're not building up a lot of extra fats and, things that, just trust me, you really need to cut soda out of your diet completely. It's just harming you more. You need to flush everything out of your system, all of the toxins, everything that you're building up during the day. And if you're on other medications and things, you also need to flush those out of your system as well. You don't want the residuals of your medications hanging out in your body, because that's just going to cause problems. The only way your body and your kidneys can work properly is if you are giving them the water to do so. So with that being said, let me just remind you that when you urinate, your urine should be clear or very light yellow in color. If it is any darker than that, then you are not giving yourself enough water and your kidneys are not processing properly. And you can run into, having kidney problems, at some point in your life. So if your urine is anything but clear to light yellow, if it's dark yellow, if it's amber looking, if it's orange, if it's dark brown, tea colored looking urine, that's really bad. You need to drink more water, period, and stop drinking alcohol and sodas and other garbage like that, okay? So really important. Water also can help you feel fuller. So when you drink a glass of water before you eat a meal, you're not going to eat as much. It's going to help you decrease your portions and the amount that you're eating. And another really important thing for those of you that have some weight loss issues is stop eating the minute that you feel full. If all of your food isn't gone, don't finish it just because it's there. As soon as you get that full feeling in your stomach, you need to stop, because you need to retrain your body that when you hit that full feeling, you're not going to give it any more fuel, and it needs to start processing what you've already put in there. Because if you just keep eating and eating over that, your body is never going to know when you're done and when you should be hungry and things like that, and that's why your weight gets so messed up. So water, so important. It helps everything. So there's also some supplements that you can take that is going to help the inflammation process as well. I told you about the turmeric earlier. It decreases inflammation in diabetes, in the heart, with the bowels. The one I tell everybody about online is the alpha lipoic acid, which I also take. It's also another strong antioxidant. These antioxidants, what they do is they also help take the burning out of our pain. So you know how you get that prickly, like you're on fire type pain on your skin or wherever. It helps to calm that down. So antioxidants are really important. Take fish oil, because again, not only does that help decrease inflammation, but it helps support your myelin sheath, which is really important to our problems and our issues. Ginger actually is what helps with nausea. It can help with kidney damage. It can help with diabetes. Resveratrol is an antioxidant found in purple grapes, in blueberries, and other fruits that have purple skins, red wine, and peanuts. So you don't necessarily have to take these things in as vitamin supplements. You can also get them naturally, and that just happens to be a natural antioxidant in those different kinds of purple skin foods that is going to help decrease insulin resistance. It helps with gastritis, calming it down. It helps to calm down colitis as well in the gut. There's also another supplement called spirulina. I'm not really sure how to say that right, but it's blue-green algae. That is a very strong antioxidant that strengthens your immune system. So that is another thing that you can take to start helping your body right now. And strengthening the immune system and decreasing the inflammation is what's going to help put your autoimmune diseases in remission and hopefully turn that off and reverse it so that you're not having those issues anymore. CBD oil is a powerful anti-inflammatory. It helps your body repair damaged cells, and it also boosts your immune system. I'm going to do a video when I talk about some medications, and I'll specifically go into more details about CBD there because it's so important. There are so many medical breakthroughs being done right now with CBD and how it helps your body and how it helps you, stay healthy. So I'm super excited about that. All right, so that was Inflammation 101. you can actually reverse or rid your body of inflammation. You can fix a lot of your issues, and we can all start feeling better. So let's start doing some of these things. Write these things down and start incorporating them into your regular diets and things. And I promise you, you're going to start seeing a difference. You're going to start seeing results. You're going to feel better, feel happier. Your body's going to feel lighter. You're not going to feel that heaviness, that fullness anymore. And that's when you know you're on the right track. So our next video, we're going to be talking about brain fog. We're just going to start right at the top of the head, and we're going to work our way down. We're going to start getting into the symptoms. So come back for that, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.